you don't know the thing, don't talk about the thing.
This is why I always says that Abraham should stick with religion. What Abraham said about adopting someone else's religion automatically makes you a slave is not really true. If you were forced into a religion, then you're a slave, but if you adopted the religion peaceful, then you are not a slave. That means you do not have to follow their way of worship. Most of the Eastern Asian countries are Buddhist. Buddhism is from India, but they don't go to India. The Jews don't force their religion or God on people, because God chose them. Plus Christianity and Islam was created by Paul and Muhammad because they don't allow outsides to become members of the Jewish religion. The only way to become a Jew back then is when your mother was a Jew. Even that was a problem. That is the reason Christianity and Islam force people into joining their religion. Homosexual is part of nature. Nature create them to stop overpopulation. There are animals that can impregnate themselves to produce offsprings. Homosexual was normal until the Abraham religions condemn it as a sin and force them to produce offsprings, because they wanted more members. What Abraham said about Gaddafi is almost like the Ghanaian Muslim man from yesterday. Gaddafi saw himself as Arab, not an African. All North African countries see themselves as Arabs. Remember that these are the people who started slavery in Africa. They are the ones that poisoned our forefathers and mothers that it was okay to sell their enemies and later themselves for guns, ammos and other things. Gaddafi wasn't a friend of Africa. He saw black people as slaves and stupid, easy to buy and control. His plan was to rule over black people. For his plan to work, he needed to kill any African head of states that disagree with him. He wanted Africa to become one nation under him, but he saw that none of the Africans' leaders wanted that. So he went to the kings in Africa and they make him the king of all kings in Africa. Gaddafi became the dictator of Libya the same way he was removed by the people, because the people of Libya wanted their freedom. All the things you think Gaddafi did for his people was done by King Idris. Robert Mugabe was removed, because he wanted his wife to become the next president. Paul Kagame is a dictator, but he hasn't killed people to stay in power. He has jailed a woman that wanted to become president and stole all her property. People talk about change, but they don't want it, because it will take away 50% of their freedom. You can do a lot in 4 years. Look at what the president has done in 4 years. In December, people will have to choose if they want more of it or go back with NDC to make Ghana a lawless country again. The people are the ones that rules the world. The deal that the Ashantis made with British Empire was that if they leave, the Ashanti king will be the king of Ghana. This is the reason Kwame Nkrumah went behind the others to claim independence. He made a deal with the Queen that he will become the Prime Minister of Ghana, but later on, because he wanted to become the first president of Ghana, he overthrew the king. This is the reason why the president chair looks like a king chair. The democracy was already in Ghana before the white people came. One of the Ashanti symbol is democracy. There is no families that rule over the world. People are the ones that rule the world, but because the world is filled with stupid people, they always go against their own interest. Jesus Christ. Abraham, are you member of the anti-vaccines? Crazy religious people that believes that Bill Gates going to chips us. They also thinks that the end of the world is coming. That Nigerian lady is filled with nonsense. India is #1 producer of hydroxychloroquine. WHO told them not to use the HCQ, but they didn't listen. After more people started dying because of the use of HCQ, they have stopped using it. Brazil still using it. 105,791 have died. Madagascar, that told the world that they have the cure. Has total infected 13k, death 166. Taiwan has 481 infected and 7 death. They follow their guidelines the correct way. You can only take off your mask if the person is a member of your household. In Ghana you see people wearing the mask, but their nose is not covered. How do they do the test? They swab deep into your nose and throat. So not covering your noses is the stupid thing you can do. People that break the law will get $33,000 fine. The reason why the fine is so high is because they know people can't pay it. The reason why people live longer is because of those medicine that we take. Nature's greatest enemy are the humans. Everything that we touch we will destroy it. People are cutting tree, but don't replant. Look at Ghana, all the trash we live in. All the bad cars driving around with all that smoking coming out it. What do you think that is? The reason why it was easy for the Europeans to conquer the native populations of Americas, African, Australia etc. is because there were no vaccines. Europeans introduced germs that these populations had never before been exposed to, particularly smallpox. Because Europeans had been exposed to the disease over the course of centuries, their bodies had built up a natural resistance, antibodies, to these diseases. When the people of the Americas and the African came into contact with these germs, they were killed in massive numbers, making settlement of these lands much easier for the Europeans.